Hey there, it's Enderverse. Today we are back with another monthly wrap-up. January patch was my greatest thus far, but I believe this one will be even more exciting. Seeing how things are going, 2025 may very well be the best year the modding community has ever seen. Now let's dive into the video. Starting the list with a big mod called Fossils and Archeology Revival. This mod was finally updated after 3 years, featuring a fabric version and a leap to 1.18.2. The mob's animations have improved immensely over the old version, and the models and textures were also redesigned to fit modern standards. New dinosaurs have been added, aquatic variants, skyscraping creatures, winged mobs, and many more species that I can't fit them all in this minute or two section. New structures have been added too, mostly nature-based ones. Speaking of which, the mod has also added new plants and trees, further magnifying the diversity of this prehistoric environment. I've always been fond of this kind of mods, and lucky for me, and anyone who's also interested in prehistoric mods, there is another mod of the same type coming up on this very list, so stay tuned. Next up we have some more blocks, a mod living up to its title, adding hundreds of new blocks to build with. These new blocks are quite similar to those of the vanilla game, helping you make your already decent vanilla builds look even better, with smoother shading and a higher amount of options that relates to all biomes, dimensions, and raw materials too. This has in turn widened your texturing pouch, resulting in structures that are pleasant to look at. The mod also added foliage-based blocks, things like piles of leaves and smaller types of cactus, so chances are you will see the difference right after installing the mod. Luki's Ancient Cities is a wall-gen mod enlarging these structures, widening the radius and increasing the amount of buildings within them. The loot chests have too been improved, featuring lots of golden apples. The reasons for that are quite obvious. The mod has also added new structures that are built with the same materials of vanilla sculpt structures, in addition to looking distinctive and not foreign to the ancient city we know. This mod sometimes causes the water to leak in and drown many parts of the ancient city, but apart from that tiny and soon to be fixed bug, it's excellent. Spirit of Fight is a new animation mod, overhauling a set of movements having to do with running, walking, jumping, and eating. Though the mod's selling point was definitely its attacking animations, with realistic limb movement, immersive sound effects, trail particles for slashing and smashing, along with being visible on a first-person view. There are even new weapons within the mod. First, there is the hammer. It's quite similar to the mace, but has a different stance animation, in addition to different attacking patterns. And the second weapon is the glove. They require 2 gloves, one in each hand for them to work properly. The attacking style here was naturally of boxing techniques. Kickboxing, I might add, as there are techniques that engages your legs too. Within this mod, shields are going to be obsolete. The days of guarding with the sword are back. However, the quality here is superior, with a special sound effect and visual effects for the impact too. The mod is sadly incompatible with major mods like Player Animator mod, along with not being available for any version apart from 1.21.1. Though it's a fresh project, so many hotfixes, content updates, and ports are quite possible. Amongst other great mods, One's Ancient Beast was a mod of the year for 2024. It was well deserving of the spot, and I'm including it once again on the channel because of a not so recent update adding 2 winged creatures. One of the 2 creatures is the rideable one, called the Sorter. Once tamed, you can ride it with a saddle as you do with the horses, and it will have a realistic stamina system. Though sadly, this has prevented it from being a full-blown transportation method. The Sorter's animations are fabulous, reacting to the wind and being quite fluid and lively. The sound effects are also immersive and hard to ignore. The other mob, the Glider, can't be ridden, though I'm pretty sure you already knew that. Due to its tiny size, the Glider can only be made into a pit. It will dance when hearing music and will occasionally drop feathers mid-dance, those you can use to craft a new glider item. There's also a new type of fish, the Sorter's favorite food, and it looks like the author is pushing for long-term growth by releasing infrequent but effective updates. The 6th mod on this monthly wrap-up is Magic Evolved, a promising mod that has to do with casting spells from natural elements. The execution of the spells was incredible. Some spells in particular look phenomenal with great animations and textures. Other spells, however, can have catastrophic consequences, and based on their potency, the cooldown period will differ. As mentioned earlier, the mod revolves around natural elements, allowing you to choose between a handful of elements, along with elevating your level as a sorcerer through casting the various spells under that element you choose initially. As much as I am a fan of the animation in this mod, some elements, the lightning one in particular, did not receive as much attention as the other elements. I would like it if the author could remaster the lightning spells, giving them better particles and animations too. Aside from that, I really love it. Warium is a modern combat mod. It too got very popular recently. The mod's aim was warheads, with the author being extremely accurate in the structure and functionality of these weapons of mass destruction. That being said, the warheads require a building process to function as intended, with the chip being the explosive part. The explosion particles are amazing. You can see tiny details like extra smoke particles, a shockwave sound, breaking particles indicating the spraying rubble, and more. This mod is new, but it's already filled with good content that can inspire great modern combat mod packs, or for the very least an easy and effective way to kill time. This is a very useful VanillaPLUS mod for the newcomers. It will add an icon indicating either the enchantment has been maximized yet. For people who just started their Minecraft journey, enchantments can be puzzling. A big factor in this puzzlement are the levels, so this mod can save you lots of time and effort down the road. Ah, almost forgotten. You can also configure the icon, basically through pasting emojis, so be creative. Alshanex's Familiars is an add-on for the Iron Spells and Spellbox mod, and its purpose was to add a bunch of minions that are distinguished through magical abilities. Using various types of casting spells like the blood, fire, and lightning spells, these minions will destroy the poor mobs you're up against. However, provided it's an add-on for a mod as big as Iron Spells and Spellbox, you are going to have some worthy opponents, may even lose a minion or two along the way. These minions can be tamed through the Arcane Essence item, and can be transported with another item called the Familiar Tomb. There, I saved you the burden of reading the mod page. I usually avoid including add-ons on my videos, but this one was quite good and very well developed that it could very well be considered an independent mod. This next mod is about nature. You can now pick up flowers and the roots will remain intact, blossoming into a new flower a couple of days later. This mod will preserve your local flower fauna, keeping the beautiful flowery forests from being chopped down to the ground. So you could say that this mod will add the element of free growth to Minecraft, making it an excellent and a true VanillaPLUS mod. A year later, we finally have gotten a new update to the Mowzie's Mobs mod, arguably one of the greatest boss mods of all time. The new update revolves around a new structure looking like the Great Wall of China. Within it, a new boss to meet, Tongbi the Sculptor. Before getting to the arena, where you will make acquaintance with Tongbi, you will have to fend off a couple of his guardians, the Bluffs. These guardians use attacks that have to do with the element of earth. They also feature a death animation too. To the Sculptor now. Tongbi isn't actually a bad guy. His mission is to test your parkour abilities, so shortly after you give him the bluff road, naturally the bluffs drop, the boss will rise above and with him many rock boulders too. Your mission is to complete this parkour. A torturous parkour, I may add, as there will be many traps and hard jumps as you progress upwards. Upon reaching the final boulder, Tongbi will congratulate you and descend, after which he will give you a gauntlet that mimics his earth abilities. This was a quick and delightful update. I did want it to be a boss fight, to be honest, but that was good too, and requires intelligence, not just brute force. This mod is self-explanatory, adding a giant oak tree to the forest. This tree can be seen from hundreds of blocks away, and has branches so big you can walk on them. I love this kind of mods, and have showcased similar mods in the past, but a bug is consistent amongst all of them, which is the surface below the tree. It creates an ugly squared surface. This mod is great regardless, and I hope that the author works on making the tree's roots merge with the terrain instead of being separated from it. Enchanted Warfare is a mod adding new combat animations. Those are quite similar to the Better Combat mod, but it's not a copy. You will see why in a second. Each time you hit a mob, a yellow VFX will appear, and a shaky screen will appear if it's a dash attack. In addition, the mod features new combat movements like a jumping attack, a leaping attack, and an airstrike. In between the VFX and the new attacking patterns, the mod also features improved realism to the combat, with the slashing collision being improved, along with a neat parrying mechanic that will let you deflect arrows if you are quick enough. Up next, we have a mod that adds raccoons into Minecraft. Apart from their beautiful models and cute designs, the raccoons can be tamed to make them sit still, and even pickable, as you can hold them with your arms or equip them on your helmet slot if you want to. Once you've had enough cuddling, you can put the animal back on the ground, as you would do with the blocks. This mod is a fun little addition to anyone's mod pack, and I've always been a fan of animal mods myself. I even have a series of videos dedicated to these kind of mods if you want to check it out. This next mod will make the rain sound differently based on the surface. A copper surface will make the loudest sounds. Meanwhile, the wool will create soothing rain sounds that will help you sleep. This mod can be paired with audio mods like the ambient sounds mod or the dynamic surroundings mod, extending immersion around the audio part of Minecraft. The Beginning and Heaven is an RPG mod adding two new dimensions into the game, one contradicting the end and the other contradicting the nether. These new dimensions feature new mobs, including animals, minions, foreign villagers, and sovereign creatures too. There's also a neat set of armors to wear. I love how the difference was beyond just different textures and colors. The whole equipment looked highly customized and unique. Naturally, with new dimensions come new bosses. As in the case with the armors, the Inner Angel is a unique looking boss, featuring amazing sound effects that fit and a special attacking pattern too. However, I do think that the boss could use a higher amount of attacks. Currently, it spams 1 or 2 attacks, along with having an awfully high health bar. The mod's execution was skillful and highly explorable, so check the mod out. It's underrated and can use your feedback. Much like some more blocks mod, the Abyssal Decor is a project adding more blocks to decorate with. The difference here is that Abyssal Decor's blocks are less vanilla friendly than the former. The mod's outlook is a little bit gothic, a little bit medieval, somewhere in the middle. The furniture and the blocks included lamps, vegetations, fences of all sorts with all kinds of materials, statues that represent ancient beasts, beautiful carpets, and more. I personally am a fan of the detailed pre-modern style of building and decorating. I find them more beautiful and stareable. If we share the same passion, you may want to grab the Abyssal Decor for your next town build or personal house decoration. Brainium introduced a unique spin on infectious wall disasters, adding a bunch of floating brains that crawl on mobs and multiply themselves in the process, which reminds me of the Sequids from Invincible. At one point, when the brain mobs infect enough mobs, they will form a new boss plainly named the Brain Master. This boss was quite a surprise for me. Its attacks were super high quality. There is a laser attack that sounds fun, targets entities and burns foliage, a shockwave attack that stuns the mobs and players, and my favorite, an attack that manipulates gravity, allowing the Brain Master to accumulate blocks, eventually hurling them in your direction. In addition to amazing animations and models that shift based on the attack, it's always a pleasure to see mods like these, where the author did not default to the mainstream concepts, and instead founded something new and refreshing. Next up we have a bone knife, a weapon you can craft from a bone and a piece of flint. This mod can be quite helpful in trying to create a weapon in a deserted area devoid of trees or any ore source, particularly on hardcore map packs. And the final mod on the list is Ben's Sharks, an animal mod adding a bunch of aquatic creatures. The quality of these mobs is remarkable, with the shark's entire body moving as it swims, making it quite believable and feels premium and not a cheap mod. The sharks also have a realistic behavior, ignoring players and hunting seals. The mod's content is minimal as of now, though it's not completed yet. As a matter of fact, this version that I'm playing right now is a creator build given to me by the author. But don't worry, I'll leave the author's Discord on the description. Plus you wanna look out for the release. Thanks for watching. Make sure you go and check last month's collection. I'm sure you'll love it. Subscribe and turn on the bell if you want more of these videos. And I'll see ya in the next one, my friend.